Good morning. This is Doris at Faith, Hope, Love 5047. That's our YouTube channel. Today's request is a story from Dora's Three Little Fairy Tales. It has the fairy tale of the three little bears, the lucky table, and the three little pigs. But today's choice is the lucky table. That's what I'm going to read today. Once upon a time, there was a widow who lived with her two sons. Pedro, the oldest, was sensible. Bobo, the youngest, was silly and not very good with money. They were poor, but they always had enough to eat. Until one year, when things turned bad, their small patch of corn dried up, so they had no corn to make tortillas. Their bean vines shriveled, so they had no black beans to eat with their rice. Their goat ran away, and then their hen would not lay eggs. All that they had left was their cow. Take the cow to the market and sell her for the highest price you can get, the widow said to her sons. We need the money to buy food. Don't worry, Mama, said Bobo. We'll sell her for a lot of money. The next day, Pedro and Bobo brought the cow to the market. On the way, they saw other people going to the market to sell coffee, beans, chicken, pigs, bananas, and sweet cakes. When they reached the market, Pedro said, I'll be right back. Don't sell the cow without me. I won't, said Bobo, sitting in the shade to rest. Soon a boy with a wooden table on his head came by. Buenas tardes, he said. Buenas tardes, Bobo replied. What do you plan to do with that cow? The boy asked. My brother and I plan to sell her, said Bobo. No one's going to buy that old skinny cow, said the boy. I'm sure she's hardly worth what it would cost to feed her. ¿Te gusta el cuento? No, estoy comiendo, estoy tranquilo. Bobo looked at the cow and realized that the boy could be right. I'll tell you what, said the boy. I'll trade you for my table for her. Done, said Bobo, and happily made the trade. The boy quickly led the cow away. Bobo couldn't wait to tell his brother the good news. Soon Pedro returned. Where's the cow? He asked. Did you sell her? Don't worry, Bobo said, smiling. I didn't sell her. Then where is she? Pedro asked, looking around. I traded her for this table, Bobo replied. What? Pedro said, totally shocked. Mama told us to sell a cow only for the highest price. I never thought you would be so silly as to trade our wonderful cow for a simple table, Bobo. Pedro dropped to his knees and started to weep. This boy was really sad. We were very lucky to get the table for our old skinny cow, said Bobo, realizing that his brother wouldn't understand. Pedro dried his tears and said, we may as well go home. Bobo lifted the table up onto his head. It was so heavy he had to walk slowly. Hours later, they came to the forest. It looked dark and scary, so the brothers decided to spend the night where they were. Let's climb this tree so the prowling pumas won't find us, said Pedro, pointing to a tall tree with wide branches. Okay, said Bobo, but it wasn't easy climbing with the table on his head. Once they were settled among the branches, they heard men's voices approaching down below. The men sat at the front of the tree and began to count large piles of gold pieces. This is what they mean, right? 10 for Paco, 10 for Hector, and 10 for Esteban, said one of the robbers. He continued counting for a while. Bobo, who was still carrying the table on his head, was getting tired. Brother, I can't hold on to this table for much longer. It's hurting my head. I can't help it, Bobo whispered. This table is too heavy. I must drop it. Shh, those men are robbers. If they hear you, they might hurt us. But they'll find us, said Pedro, worried. Bobo tried to stay still, but the table started to slip. If you let it fall, that will be the end of us, hissed Pedro, but Bobo had no choice. Ay! Bobo shouted as the table slipped off his head and tumbled down, 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 breaking branches along the way. Uh-oh, what's going to happen now? It landed with a terrible crash right near the robbers. Pedro closed his eyes, terrified that the robbers would spot them. But the robbers were so scared by the table falling from the sky that they ran away, leaving behind all of their treasures. Pedro and Bobo climbed down the tree, gathered the treasures, and carried it home with the lucky table. Their mother was very pleased to see them arriving with so much money and a fine table as well. They had a big feast and never went hungry again. And everyone had to admit that maybe Bobo wasn't so silly after all. The end. Please hit that like button, and if you like, subscribe. I read stories very often during the week. God bless you.